The passing of longtime South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham marked the end of more than 2 decades of service in the U.S. Senate. As tributes continued to pour in from across the political world, another major announcement quickly followed. South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster appointed Lindsey Graham's younger sister, Darline Graham Nordone, to temporarily fill the Senate seat left vacant by her brother's death. The decision immediately drew national attention and became one of the biggest political stories in the country. Darline Graham Nordone is not a career politician. For most of her life, she stayed away from elected office, choosing instead to work in disability employment services while supporting her brother behind the scenes. Even though she rarely sought the spotlight, she was a familiar face to many South Carolina voters, frequently appearing alongside Lindsey Graham during campaign events, public speeches, and his 2015 presidential campaign. The bond between Lindsey and Darline was far deeper than politics. After the death of both of their parents while they were still young, Lindsey, who was in his early 20s and serving in the U.S. Air Force, became the legal guardian of his 13-year-old sister. From that moment forward, he helped raise her, and the two remained exceptionally close throughout their lives. Friends often describe their relationship as one built on loyalty, sacrifice, and family values. Governor Henry McMaster announced Darline's appointment during a news conference at the South Carolina State House. He explained that she would serve as an interim senator until the current Senate term expires in January, ensuring the state continues to have full representation in Washington while voters choose a permanent successor in a special election later this year. President Donald Trump publicly supported the decision even before the governor made the official announcement. In a statement, Trump described Darline as a wonderful choice and said appointing her would be a fabulous tribute to Lindsey Graham, noting how much the late senator loved his sister. His endorsement added even more attention to the appointment and reinforced support among many Republican leaders. Speaking shortly after accepting the appointment, Darline Graham Nordone called it an incredible honor. Fighting back emotion, she said she hoped to continue her brother's work during the remaining months of his term and believed this was what Lindsey would have wanted. She also thanked Governor McMaster, President Trump, and the people of South Carolina for placing their trust in her during such a difficult time. Her appointment also carries historic significance. Once sworn in, Darline will become the first woman ever to represent South Carolina in the United States Senate, marking an important milestone in the state's political history. Although she has never held elected office before, many Republican leaders believe her familiarity with Lindsey Graham's priorities will help ensure continuity during the transition. The appointment has received support from several Republican lawmakers. Senator Tim Scott praised Darline, saying there was no one who better understood Lindsey Graham's love for South Carolina and his commitment to public service. Other colleagues echoed those sentiments, describing the decision as a respectful way to honor the late senator while maintaining stability during a challenging period. Even with Darline taking the interim seat, the political process will continue. Because Lindsey Graham had been seeking another Senate term, South Carolina will hold a Republican primary and subsequent election to determine who will serve the next full term beginning in January. Several well-known Republican figures have already expressed interest in running, setting up what is expected to be a closely watched race. As South Carolina prepares for that election, many people are still reflecting on Lindsey Graham's decades-long career. He served in the U.S. House of Representatives before being elected to the Senate in 2002, where he became one of the nation's most influential voices on national security, foreign policy, and judicial appointments. His sudden death left colleagues and supporters mourning the loss of a politician whose influence extended far beyond his home state. For Darline Graham Nordone, the appointment represents far more than a political opportunity. It is the continuation of a lifelong bond between a brother and sister who faced tremendous hardships together from an early age. As she begins her temporary service in the Senate, she carries not only the responsibility of representing South Carolina, but also the legacy of the brother who helped shape her life. Whether she decides to seek elected office in the future remains uncertain. For now, Darline has made it clear that her focus is on honoring Lindsey Graham's memory, serving the people of South Carolina with integrity, and ensuring that his commitment to public service continues during the final months of the term he was unable to complete.